I'll give it here, I'll do it myself. Life, I suppose, ain't nothing like a rose's bed, but it smells of compost. Very little grows, especially when you plant your dreams, it seems. Well, I don't have the answers, and I can't tell you what to do. You've got to hope for 1%, or if you're lucky, 2. No, I don't ask for much, just happiness and a sense of worth and achievement. But 99% of the time it seems it's pain and misery for me. What you gonna do when you gotta decide after 99 knows what's next?
Wow, looky here, what's in the box? It says item, heated body warmer. Heated body warmer? Are you sure, sir? I don't think it's a heated body warmer. Keys apparel. Well, let's have a look. Let's see what's in it. Back in a second. Personally, I'm always fascinated when you see these American unboxing videos by these scary people with great big hunting knives and things. I'm using a dining knife, ordinary kitchen knife. We're English after all. This is England. Okay, so the box is open. Is it a heated body warmer? Let's have a look. Is that what it is? Oh, it's just a box of paper, boy. Hang on, it's not a paper, boy. What's this? It's an embalmed piece of metal. Looks like it's been captured by a giant spider. HPS 0162. And if I can see, it says black CRF 1000L Africa Twin center stand. Oh, it's arrived. We're going to have fun fitting this beauty. It's another layer of wrappage, and we've revealed actual center stand and a bag of presumably accessories to fit it. Now, this center stand cost as much as my first motorbike when I was 17. I had a moped before that, which was cheaper than this center stand. This center stand cost more or less exactly the same as my first Honda 125 back in 1979, 1980, 1981. I'm giving my age away. 2003. Anyway, it's a hefty piece of metal, but then it would have to be, wouldn't it? That's to hold 1/4 ton. So I shall come back to that tomorrow and see how we get on. So, doing this properly and checking the parts, you have this bracket which attaches underneath and the spring fits to it. You have a centre stand itself, 2 rubbers which are there, which will fit onto it to stop it from vibrating presumably, a bolt which holds in one side, a washer, a spacer and a nut. Don't know if it's got a nylon insert in it or not. Doesn't look like it. The actual bolt is threaded only so far, so perhaps that is allowed to move. Not quite sure. See you later. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Only 9 parts to this, and all 9 parts are there, including instructions. So as we move along, we'll see how it goes together. The one thing I'm really concerned about, I did buy a spring hook for pulling the spring, but this spring is very, very powerful. Not least due to the fact it's one inside the other. I might be able to pull one spring and then the other spring on, or I may even have to go somewhere else, but we'll see. I shall give it a try. It's excellent, really. One spring inside the other. Simply fits onto there. Okay. Right, so everything's there, and as I remember, you go underneath the bike, slot this part slots onto the existing part of the bike, and then this will line up with the hole that the bolt goes through. The bolt will go through the bike, through the spacer, and hold that at this side. So it's straightforward and looks easy, apart from that massive spring. I bought this because I like the look of the spring better than the double spring side by side, so that may yet prove to be a bad choice. We shall see. Okay, then the next part is rubber damper, they call them. 2 is the red one, 3 is the black one. And 2 fits here, and 3 fits there. I guess they rest under the bike to avoid vibrations. So the red one will fit in there. I'm going to take more force than I can do with one hand, but you get the idea. So that will push through there and lock, and the black one pushes to here and locks. Is that the right way around? Yeah. Though actually the holes are, maybe you can see, but the holes are actually wider here, and you push through so that the barb opens up into this part here. Probably not focusing at that, but they're both like that. Okay, swapping over cameras now and looking underneath the bike, you can see that the spacer will presumably go through there and the screw go underneath, and it looks like the actual other side of the stand sits on the bottom of the suspension mount. So it looks straightforward. There's the side stand spring, and just have a quick look from the other side and see if we can see where the spring goes, the return spring attachment on the other side before we start. Okay, I don't know if that will show. This is the other side. The spacer goes through here and tightens up on the inside. The actual lug of the spring is here. So everything's easy to get to. I'm only on the side stand. Obviously this side where the bike leans is a little bit lower. So it looks easy. Obviously we shall see. Okay, looking at the parts ready to go. There's the bolt with the spacer and the washer. That's a 17mm on that end, and the lock nut seems to be 15mm, which should be handy. It's a rotten day, windy, not very nice. Could have picked a better day for it, but I'm going to, as the Americans say, go ahead and fit the stand now, and do a bit of more video when I've got it in position. So here's a side stand partly located. You can see that it slides over the mounting for the, well, it slides over that mounting there. Okay, and then the other end where the bush and the bolt go through. Won't be able to hold the camera and do that, so I'll show it afterwards. And obviously the spring will lift it up into position. You can see the red washer goes against there, hopefully to dampen it. Okay, moving ahead, we'll do that. Here, a little tip: when if you put the spacer in first, so the spacer's in, and then you try to put the bolt in separately, try to put the bolt in separately, it won't fit because the angle that you need to get to that small hole, the side stand prevents it. So it's best to put the bolt through and then fit the whole thing in. I found that works. And also don't forget to grease this, as I did, and I forgot to grease the other side. I also have to take it off again and grease them both. Try again. It takes just a little bit of jiggling to fit that nut and bolt through there, but not too much. You just slide the bolt back, put the nut on the end, and then it slides into position. One thing I've noticed is that the rubber on the end doesn't actually touch there, but presumably when you're riding along as the swing arm moves, there's a potential for that to hit, so there's a gap there. I'll just check the other side. On this side you can see the red rubber does hit the rest on there, so that one is fixed, and so the rest of the side will hit or buffer it when you're going on when the swing arm's moving. So that's in position. All I need to do then is tighten it up and then try and do the spring, which we know is going to be the tough bit. That part, honestly, simple. Simples. Next up is to fit the spring arm. Put some grease on it. The spring arm which fits on this hook here. That's how it fits there. Can you see that? Can you see that? So I put some grease on there, and then I've got to get that spring onto there. This is probably not ideal. It's getting very windy out here. It's now very cold. I've managed to pull the thinner spring, the inner spring, and with the hook, with the spring hook, and fix it into position. Now the other spring obviously is not on, so I think that's going to cause a problem, but maybe that's one way I'll be able to tackle this, one spring at a time rather than doing both together. So I'll continue trying with that bigger spring. Years ago I used to know a motorcycle mechanic, and his catchphrase was, "Dear mother, it's a bastard." Well, with this spring, we got that right. My spring tool, got the thin spring on, but the thick spring, it's snapped it. After struggling and struggling and struggling, I found a way to do it, which you can just about see, is to have a strong screwdriver over the top of the chain and use the end of it levered against the stand. It scratched it a little bit, but I think you can see I've managed to get both springs in position. My only problem now is getting that screwdriver out without pulling the spring off again, so I'm not going to be able to video that. I'm just going to gradually slide it out a bit at a time. You need gloves. This is dangerous. Also, I would suggest eye protection. And no, I'm not one of these. I'm not one of those people that's health and safety mad, but that spring's very powerful. I feel like Charles Atlas now. Honestly, that was hard work. Right, I finally got the screwdriver out without it going back in. You see I actually rounded that lug a little bit, but I don't think it's ever going to come out. I need to adjust this chain as well, look at things. The two springs are now on, very strong. It's not moving. You can see the return's very good on that. So I'm going to, as the Americans say, go ahead and see if I can put it on the centre stand in a minute. And I'm pleased with that. But do not underestimate how difficult that spring is. It's I almost rang a garage to see whether I could come down and get them to sort it. I did it one spring at a time. Probably not the best way. Probably a spring tool, two together. However, it seems to be good. The job's a good one. Car. Lovely. The stand's now on, it's working. Got it on its centre stand, and you can see the back wheels off the ground, so I can do work on it. It won't move now. It's a very windy day, so it's going to spend a lot of time parked on that in the winter, I imagine. But I've got a new wheel to put on the back at some point, some other jobs to do. So the SW-Motech stand is on in position. Bastard springs are working fine. And that's a job well done. SW-Motech centre stand. I'll tell you what though, I'm not heavy enough to lift it. At least not in this tight space. Don't know what it'd be like outside on the road. Actually had to ask the wife to pull the back while I stood on it because my weight wasn't enough to lift the bike back onto it. I don't think that's the stand's fault. I think it's the fact this bike's a bit bloated. All those dual clutch gearboxes and things, to 250 kilograms. Anyway, I'm very pleased with that. It's a great job. Codger Biker out.
Well, as I said before, I don't want much, just a sense of worth and achievement. But 99% of the time it seems it's pain and misery.